Aloha everyone, and a special aloha to all my new subscribers. It is wonderful to have you here with us. This is the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for September 13th, 2018. In tonight's update, I have a very special treat in store. I was given access to current video footage of Fissure 8. I went through it all, and it's quite a bit of it, so I may make this a two-parter. I don't know. We'll see how it goes in this video. In tonight's news update, we're going to change the format just a little bit. We're going to do the USGS report first, and then we're going to take a look at the earthquake maps, because there's been a little bit of activity there. Nothing, I don't think, to be concerned with. And then we're going to get into the exclusive footage, so stick around for that. USGS reports for Thursday, September 13th, 2018 at 9:16 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. On Kilauea Volcano's lower east rift zone, the collapse pit within the Fissure 8 cone was no longer incandescent last night, but a glowing spot just west of the pit that first appeared on September 11th got wider last night and may be a very small, slow lava flow moving along the west edge of the collapsed pit. Since the beginning of September, small lava flows have been observed within the Fissure 8 cone. However, none of them have extended outside the walls of the cone. Seismicity and ground deformation remain low at the summit of Kilauea. Aftershocks from the magnitude 6.9 earthquake in early May are still being generated on faults located on Kilauea's south flank. For the last few days, summit tilt seemed to be turning to weak inflation. This morning, there is the suggestion that summit tilt may have returned to deflationary motion. However, tilt meters throughout the volcano are affected by rainfall. We will continue monitoring this trend to see if it continues. Small collapses within Pu'uo'o crater have occurred during the past week. Rates of tilting throughout the East Rift Zone are much lower than were observed during the period of major eruptive activity. There has been no change in seismicity during the past week. We will continue to watch these data for changes. Sulfur dioxide emission rates at the summit, Pu'uo'o, and lower East Rift Zone are drastically reduced. The combined rate is less than 1,000 tons per day, which is lower than at any time since late 2007. SO2 emission rates from the lower East Rift Zone vents Tuesday, September 11th, were below the detection threshold of the measurement technique. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory continues to closely monitor Kilauea seismicity, deformation, and gas emissions for any sign of reactivation, and maintains visual surveillance on the summit and lower East Rift Zone. HVO will continue to issue daily updates and additional messages as needed. And that'll do it for the general USGS report. So let's move on over to the earthquake maps, because I'm very eager to get to the exclusive footage. For those that haven't subscribed, now might be a good time to do so. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell icon if you want notifications of when I post new videos or do live streams. And with that said, let's go over to the earthquake report. Taking a look at the earthquake map sorted by one-day all magnitudes, we see that we've had a few little quakes up at the summit and down around the coastline between the Middle East Rift Zone and the Lower East Rift Zone areas. So nothing too significant there, all between, under 3.0s, mostly in the 1.9, 1.7 areas it looks like. However, if we take a look at the 7-day, 7-day all magnitude map, we see something interesting. And what we see is that the pattern I pointed out quite a few reports ago with the earthquakes was we were getting a line down the rift zone, but closer to the coastline than the rift line that erupted in Leilani, which is above this line of quakes you see going up to the, what would it be, the northeastward direction towards the point. Don't know if it's anything to be concerned about. This could just be a result of the deflation that seems to be occurring according to the USGS report, but it's something we'll keep an eye on, and hopefully we won't see any clustering or anything like that, which could possibly indicate, you know, magmatic movement. Okay, that's an interesting word, magmatic. I kind of like it. So, okay, and that'll do it for the earthquake report. Now, as promised earlier in the update report, exclusive video from Fissure 8. What we're looking at here is one of the initial lava flows, and of course it is also covered with tephra. So it is a tephra covered lava flow field, and of course the big mountain or hill up there in the that you see is of course the Fissure 8 cone. You can also, looking at this, you see there that some land hasn't been quite covered, and that's typical with eruptions here on the island. The flows can go out in fingers and literally just leave islands of land untouched, even though they're around the same elevation. There's just something there as the lava approaches that makes it just, you know, split and go different directions. I haven't witnessed it firsthand, so I really can't speculate too much about the mechanism behind that. But as you can see, there's still some stuff standing right there, you know, up to the cone. And of course, all the steam that we're seeing is just that, it's steam. This area is still quite warm underneath, so as the water from rain, you know, percolates and finds its way down through the tephra and the cracks and crevices within the lava itself, it gets, you know, heated up and comes back up as steam, because the further you go down, the warmer it gets. Now, is there any molten lava still under all this? I really don't know. I would think there might be some isolated pockets, but nothing huge or big. But that would be a good question to maybe ask the USGS at some point if I run into them. And of course, to the left of Fissure 8 is the other fissures that are right there next to it, uprift. And one thing you have to be careful, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there was that little hole there for a couple frames in the image. Walking out here is dangerous because of that reason right there. There could be voids under the surface that you're not aware of, and there are voids underneath the surface that you're not aware of. So you have to be very careful walking. Now, taking a look at this next clip, we see, of course, more of the steam there. And if you notice, that steam is actually coming from the area of the rift line itself. So it's not like off in the flow fields, it's down that rift line, which of course makes perfect sense because that's where it is still the warmest. If we look here, what we're seeing is a potential void area that you'd want to be careful stepping on. Obviously there's some space underneath that, and that's just the way the lava kind of folds over itself sometimes. You know, a lobe of lava will break out and kind of fold over or flow over an older you know, piece of the flow, and then what will happen is it forms a crust, and then that lava finds somewhere else to go that's in a lower elevation, you know, works its way downhill, wherever that may be, and of course drains off into that void or off somewhere else, and leaving that shell behind, which is why you've got to be careful where you walk. So if you've been enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out a lot, and I truly appreciate it. So what we're looking at here is basically the same as what we've seen before in other clips. But one thing I want to point out is this entire area that you're looking at here used to be an ohia forest dotted with multiple homes everywhere. It looked like the tree line back there, but everywhere that you see the lava now was trees and houses. Okay, and this is going to be the last clip I'm going to show of this particular set of exclusive video footage that was given to me. I'm going to just let y'all sit back and watch it and enjoy it. So it's about a couple minutes long, and we'll wrap it up at the end. I know I said I'd be quiet and let you watch it, but you gotta watch this. This is why you have to be very careful where you walk when you're out here, because this happens in 3, 2, 1. The person filming this fell into a small void. Obviously they seem to be okay. They didn't even make a sound. Oh, and look at that. There's footprints. Okay, continue watching. And that'll do it for this particular set. So I obviously have decided to do a part 2 on this, and I will include that with the next update, which will be around in the next day or two. So if you want to see the rest of this, because the rest of it gets kind of up close and personal with Fissure 8, so I do highly recommend tuning in for that episode as well. So if you want to make sure you get notified, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon, because that's the only way it's going to really happen, unless you got a friend that's going to tell you about it. Don't forget to hit the like button, the thumbs up button there. That lets me know that you enjoyed this and you're eager to see the rest of this, because I'm telling you, you're really going to want to. But I also have some more really interesting stuff coming. I will be out collecting that footage tomorrow, so that's another reason to hit that subscribe button. So, but for tonight, that'll do it. Don't forget to check out my smug mug, my red bubble. Support me on Patreon if you can, and follow me up on Twitter so we can chat there and share photos and things if you want. And that will do it for tonight, everyone. Thank you again to everybody. Y'all have been great. Again, a special mahalo to individuals that have been sending me things in mail. You know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. And it does help, no matter what it is. Just your generosity and your compassion is just amazing. So mahalo for that. I greatly appreciate it. And that'll do it for tonight, guys. Y'all have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. This has been the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for September 13th, 2018.